The Republican Club is here to share highlights from their growing board, as well as providing us a glimpse into their club. From the Republican Club, we welcome President Pat Mycone and VP of Programs, Betty Oliker.
Thank you.
Ladies,
Thank you, Bree.
welcome to the show.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
'Tis the season.
It's nice to have you back.
Oh, thank you. It's great to be back. We just feel so fortunate to come in once a month to promote our events. And I wanted to have a special time to introduce Betty Oliker, who's our new board member, our Vice President of Programs.
Congratulations, Betty. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Let's start off by telling our viewers about your events, because I know that you've got at least 3 coming up fairly quickly through, from now through February.
Yes.
And we want to save the date.
Yeah, right. Well, we have our January 3rd meeting, which is our first meeting of the year, which we're really excited about because, you know, this is going to be our building year. It's not going to be an election year. So it's going to be a year where we're going to build. We're going to have speakers that will encourage us, keep us supported. And, you know, we're very excited about the Trump administration coming in on January 20th. And Betty and I were talking about the Trump effect. And already we're very excited because the Trump effect is already happening. In this season of Christmas and Hanukkah, people are feeling hopeful anyway. And it's just, I'm just relieved that this is just such a wonderful time of year. And
so what's the definition of the Trump effect?
You know, it's just a term I've heard, Bree. I see it as, you know, especially as I look at world news, how world leaders are now respecting the fact that President Trump is coming in. Recently, Premier Macron in France had him over to honor the opening of the Notre Dame. And I've just in the news I've heard, I mean, the stock market looks positive. He was on Wall Street last week.
Right.
And, you know, just in the news.
So overall, sort of a lifted spirits.
Well, I
sounds
think,
like.
and people every day, I don't know about you, but when we talk to people just seem very hopeful, positive, and look forward to, you know, restoring our safety and security and prosperity in our country.
Okay, well, we look forward to that.
I don't have much to say about that, do I?
Well, thank you for sharing. And then to wrap up your meetings, you've got one coming up on February 7th with Roseanne.
Oh, yes,
DiCostanzo.
yes. So we have Roseanne DiCostanzo. She's going to be talking about the new state of California. And that's probably a lot to go in detail, but our newsletter just went out, Bree, so people they can save the dates
Read
for
up on that.
January 3rd for our meeting with Deborah Pauly. She's going to be our speaker. And and in February 4th will be Roseanne.
Okay.
But we probably should talk a little bit more about Deborah Pauly for this January meeting because she's an amazing young woman. She's an attorney, a staff attorney for the Lex Rex Institute, and they're an institute that are devoted to constitutional law in trying to maintain, you know, the constitutional law in this. They're a California firm. And she's going to be talking about her vision and common sense, bringing us back to the voice. She's going to be the voice of reason. She is currently the president of the Conservative Patriots of Orange County. She started that about 3 years ago, and they now have about 400 members. So, you know, with all that's happening in the last 4 years, we have a lot of people who have just leaned toward more conservatism because there's been such a radical shift on the other side. But it's all good.
Okay. So we want to keep folks informed on the date for that. So that's coming up January 3rd.
Yes, yes.
And that's in Clubhouse 5.
Yep.
So you've got your social hour starting at 11 and then meeting at 11:30 and then lunch at 12:15.
Yes, and we hope on December 27th, Bree, we ask people to send in their checks to RSVP, so we know they're coming, we can plan. And we also have, we've decided to have an inaugural breakfast watch party. People, you know, a lot of us aren't going to DC for the inauguration, so we thought it'd be a good idea to have a breakfast watch party.
Okay.
And we're going to have that on January 20th.
January 20th.
At the Performing Arts in the dining room from 8 a.m. to 11. So save the date, everybody. We hope you'll come and join us, and more details will follow. We'll have details in the Globe.
Okay, so it's not just Republican Club members who you're inviting, it's just anybody
Well,
who wants to join.
we're putting it out to our members, but where other people may want to come. And
Sure.
It's only 100 people are allowed in that room, so
Okay.
it'll be limited seating. But yeah, we don't keep anyone out if they want to go.
Right. Okay, well, in your newsletter, you touched on young Kim and Diane Dixon, who are both very dedicated to public service.
Yes.
They had some messages.
Yes.
That let's share those messages with the viewers.
Well, young Kim is very grateful. She is one of the only U.S. Congresswoman who was elected in this past election. And she's just very grateful. She works very hard.
She does work very hard.
The other three U.S. congressmen who are Republicans were not elected, and we're very concerned that there, were some irregularities in the election. So that's been the highlight of some news. But young Kim is a hard worker. This will be her third term.
Wow.
She's been elected her third term.
Amazing.
And Diane Dixon, Diane is an assemblywoman up in Sacramento. That's a hard job. We don't have the majority in Sacramento and haven't for many years.
Right.
So that's tough.
challenging.
Yeah, but Diane, she's doing a good job.
Okay. So, Betty, you're in a new role.
I am.
Are you loving it?
I'm getting ready to love it. Yes.
Getting acclimated to
I
it,
am.
right?
I'm
so,
feeling
in terms
it,
of VP of Programming, what does that mean?
Well, I believe it means lining up programs for the year, reaching out to people, regarding their availability and making them feel welcome when they come.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
In managing it, she'll be managing, contacting them and
Yes.
setting them up. It helps
Making
me.
all the
And
arrangements.
it takes a load off the president. The vice president of program is a very important
Yes.
role. It takes a lot of pressure off the president to do other things.
Well,
At least
you
that's
guys
how
are
I
gonna-
look at it.
You'll have an amazing year ahead of you, I'm sure. Lots to do.
Yes.
Always. And then you also have your 96-year-old editor who published your last newsletter. Is that correct?
Yes, Shirley Morgan. Here we have our
Yes,
newsletter.
she's
This is a
amazing.
newsletter that she's 96 years old. We just honored her. Shirley has been the president of our club since 1999. In 1998, she was president for 10 years. This is a picture of Shirley. And she did that for 10 years, and she was vice president for 2 years. And now she's a mentor for us. She still does our newsletter. We have a picture in our newsletter of her, Bree. She's at her computer. She's got two screens,
Smiling.
and she works at this screen and this screen. And at 96,
There's no reason to
It's
ever
wonderful.
slow down.
I know.
It's really
I know.
wonderful.
We have people living in this town who are 100 in their hundreds.
Right. Yeah.
And so
Fabulous.
I know. Yeah.
All right, ladies from the Republican Club, thank you, Pat and Betty, for joining us.
Thank
if you'd
you.
like to learn more about the Republican Club, you can go to LagunaWoodsVillage.com, Villagewood website, and then click Political, right? So don't forget to save the dates for breakfasts and upcoming meetings. And we'll be right back after these messages with a preview of our weekend movies. Stay tuned.